Hello and welcome to February 18th for the my weekly pull list. This week's a little bit heavier than last week, a little bit on the lighter side though, or maybe around normal. Uh, yeah, four books here. Uh, Honestly, a pretty good week overall. First, we're gonna start off with the new Avengers number 9. Really, when this book started, I just picked it up really because of Bucky. I really like Bucky. But overall, it's been like a pretty fun, mostly lighthearted team book with a lot of characters that wouldn't normally interact. Uh, Story's been kind of whatever, but I do enjoy it. Uh, I've been picking it up. It's a nice fun book. You need fun books. So I did really enjoy this issue. I think we got a lot more from one of the weaker characters in the book, Eddie Brock Carnage. We got some more characterization from him. He got to kind of stand up and project more of himself. That's not just telling Carnage he's not going to eat people, which has been a lot of what this has been so far. But overall, more of the Kill Illuminati stuff. I'm kind of ambivalent on where that main story is going. Really, it's just a fun book with and if you like these characters like I do, Laura Kinney Wolverine, Bucky, Natasha, Clea, Namor's in there too, Eddie Brock Carnage. If you like those characters, it's a fun enough book to pick up. Moving on, we're going to move on to Amazing Spider-Man 22. We got put on a cliffhanger last week of Peter coming back to Earth. This is presumably what happens before that, before he meets up with Norman. It's right when he gets back to Earth and kind of going around trying to figure out what went on while he was gone. We get some Ben Reilly in this issue, which is kind of as he has been. Not the best we've seen of Ben Reilly, but it's better than the Prime Chasm days and like the King Chasm bullshit they were doing. So I'll take it. We got some Fantastic Four, which was nice. Overall, it's a kind of run of the mill Spider-Man issue at this point. Some people don't know why he left. Some people don't care, and they're just happy that he's back. He kind of trying to figure stuff out, as it seems like Peter Parker always is nowadays. But it wasn't like bad. I'm not dropping the series. It's very kind of average. There's not a whole lot to love. There's nothing really to hate. Just kind of one of those issues. We get one of those issues every once in a while. So yeah, I guess we'll see how the drama and stuff actually starts picking up now that Peter's back. A couple issues. And that's kind of gonna decide if I'm gonna drop the Amazing Spider-Man book again. Because I picked it up because of the space stuff. I was really enjoying Peter in space. He kind of was carrying himself in a way that he hasn't in a very long time. Didn't really get a whole lot of that here, but we'll see if that's a trend going forwards. And speaking of Spider-Man, move on to Ultimate Spider-Man. Actually, the final Ultimate Spider-Man issue, presumably ever. Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. Why are they ending this? Honestly, I think a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man people have talked about in the past is not a whole lot happens, and that's kind of the weakness of like we're skipping a month every time we see a new issue because a month passed when the last issue was released. It's a monthly book, so in universe a month is passing, but Honestly, I just don't think it. I don't think Hickman really did that very well in the middle of this book. While that was still sort of a thing going on, it kind of dropped it. These last couple, um, I really like the ending. The start was the start, middle, main section is it's all Spider-Man. You know, it's competently written, and, you know, well drawn, and there's nothing really there's not really bad I can say about it. It's got some decent action. It's got nice set pieces, interesting characters, but you know, I think just with this series, the main problem has been kind of attaching yourself to these characters on a not only on a monthly book, but on a monthly book that you didn't see so much of what happened to these characters because of that they were skipping month by month thing in universe. So it can ring a little bit hollow. I do like the ending that, you know, he has this whole speech about how speech to Mary Jane. So he's not like saying this to the Kingpin, but he's saying like, you know, like I thought something was missing, and it was, you know, some like my powers were stolen from me before I could ever get them. But getting the powers has made me realize that everything that like mattered, I already had, and I think that's a good like lesson, good moral, good characterization of Peter Parker that I wish the Amazing Spider-Man, just the main universe in general, would pull from. It's and that's one of the main strengths of this Ultimate Spider-Man series has been a mature adult Peter that stays mature and adult the entire way through. Even if I wasn't super attached to him, you know, during parts, and I wasn't, you know, the most jazzed each time this book released, he's an adult and he stays an adult and he stays acting like an adult, which we haven't gotten from main series Peter in a while. And so it's kind of sad that, you know, right as Amazing Spider-Man's getting back to Earth, and it might be going back to a status quo, I don't know, this book is ending. I really hope we kind of pull more from that Peter Parker to make you know, normal Peter Parker a little bit more uh solid, if that makes sense. But overall, yeah, it's a good final issue. I still don't know why they're ending the Ultimate line. Something I might make another video about, but it just seems premature and kind of blind to how much people have been enjoying a lot of these books, especially like Ultimate X-Men, the Ultimates. Like, there's been some kind of stinkers, or I wouldn't even necessarily say stinkers. I think the lowest bar of the Ultimate books is still above like a good bit above the lowest bar of the main Marvel books. But yeah, I mean, I just don't get why they're ending this series. I get like they want to do a story with the Maker, and they have to kind of wrap that up. But I don't know. It feels like you could do this in a different way, of, you know, leaving it in an ambiguous enough place where we could get more for these characters. We could get uh just more of their lives in these stories, and let creatives do more with these characters moving forward, but I guess not. So that leads us into the final one, another sort of split off version from a main book, Absolute Batman. Great, fantastic as Absolute Batman has been. Um, it's really building on what has been left. Bruce, dealing with the ramifications of his friends being hurt by Bane, uh, him being sort of absent as Batman, with his life kind of changing like permanently. Like it's just not going back to the way it was. Things have changed after Bane and after Batman has made himself this symbol for Gotham, and he kind of has to learn to deal with that. We also get the introduction and the backstory of Absolute Poison Ivy. I think this is a very interesting take on the character. Moving away from just plants, she's like a combination of all the different kingdoms of life. I think is a very interesting take. She sees that she does kind of a lot with it. It seems going to be a lot of I don't know if there's like specific word for it, but like this kind of abstract biological body horror sort of thing. But we see she still has all kind of like the staples. She infects other people to do her bidding. She has control over all these plants and things, even if it's not just limited to that. I'm really interested in where this series is going. And unlike Ultimate Spider-Man, I have so much more Absolute Batman that I'm gonna read over time. They're not just ending it arbitrarily. They are letting these series seemingly at this point just live out and do their thing, which has been great. It's really allowed us to attach to these characters, even the other books that may not be as well received. Absolute Batman being I believe the first Absolute book, if I'm not mistaken. I'm remembering that correctly. It was the first one released, and it's kind of leading the charge, especially in popularity. It feels like they're reprinting Absolute Batman #1 every other week, and it kind of deserves its spot right there at the front of the pack. It's consistently good story, consistently good art, consistently great ideas and execution. It's kind of the full package for comics readers right now. If you're looking for something with a familiar character that's different, these Absolute books are the best thing you can do. I know there's a lot of people out there who will say like, oh, comics are too confusing, you don't know where to start. I don't necessarily agree. I think you can kind of start wherever. But if you are worried about that, these Absolute books, Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, especially, just pick them up and start reading. Trades are hitting the shelves if you want to pick up the first. At least my comic shop has at least the last couple, because they will slowly sell over time. People are interested in these books. DC seems to know that people are interested in these books. So they're printing them, they're sending them out, they're successful. DC's doing everything right, these books right now. And I think if you aren't, read them. Fantastic. It's Absolute Batman. Fantastic. As it has been. Overall, this week was, I'd say good. I'm gonna have to look for something to replace Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know. I'll look through the solicits and see if anything catches my eye. But overall, we got some decent books. We got some good books. And that's really all you can ask for at the end of the day, right? I can't be too mad at it. Yeah, that was my pool list for the week of February 18th, 2026. Y'all have any questions, or you want to talk about these books, put them down in the comments. Be happy to discuss with you. If you have any books I should be reading, put it down in the comments, especially now that I have to replace I don't have to, but I'm looking for something to replace Ultimate Spider-Man in the pool list. If you have recommendations, throw them down there. I'll be happy to look through them. Other than that, just the normal YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe if you want to see more comics content. At the very least, one video a week, quickly running through the comic books that I pulled this or that week. Other than that, have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is when you're watching this. Goodbye.